Hello everyone, welcome to Speedgaming 2. Today we've got another match of the Speedgaming Live 2024 Ocarina of Time Randomizer online tournament here. We've got ourselves Engel and versus Volc in brackets round 1. I'm starting with me on comms as new IT guy. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Looking forward to a good match here. We've got two good runners. Both have been around for a few years now. Engel from the US, Volc, one of our many Francophone community members. It should be fun. Looks like we have a ZL start with a Shadow Medallion, which is always nice.
This is the 1 versus 32 matchup, I believe.
It is not. I don't think, but I might have to double check. Actually, it might be. I'm trying to think and failing the thing. It is indeed the 1 versus 32 matchup. Correct. Sorry, misremembered. Volc was the top seed in the qualifiers with a score of 101.73. Engel did 89.12, although that doesn't necessarily say a lot about their skills, as we are off. Because these are both very talented runners. Fire, Lawmont Ranch, Fortress, and Lake. Okay. Some interesting foolish hints here.
We have a rather unfortunate pre-completed, though. Deku pre-completed, not so much fun.
No, DC Jabu Forest being the burning cack beds isn't ideal either.
Right.
Because our required dungeons are water, shadow, spirit, and fire, which are very high item requirement dungeons, so we could be here for a bit.
Yeah. At least we know we're not going to have some crazy all dungeon logic for like a ZL or something like that.
No, and not for forest access either, because forest is the forest med. But unfortunately, that does increase likelihood of there being something hard required on Burning Cat. But we'll find out, because we just started. And there can be plenty of shenanigans.
Hello, Rufio. You have money. Thank you.
And treasure chest game is a heart container. Okay, don't care. But yeah, well, technically this is a 1 versus 32 seed. Engel having an 89 and just barely squeaking into brackets this year says a lot about the skill level of everyone who entered the qualifiers this year. So this is very, very competitive. Both runners were in the top 64 brackets of the main tournament this past, I believe it was past year, certainly in recent years, and neither are any slouch. So this should be a very good match. Laro in the windmill. I don't think anyone really truly expected the cutoff to be 89 this year for brackets, but that's what we found ourselves with.
Yeah, we were expecting lower 80s.
Last year was an 83, which admittedly doesn't, which includes drops, admittedly, but yeah, that was lower than those silly 30 skulls is dead.
20
and 20 skulls is dead. So, we don't need skulls at least.
Maybe 10, but 10. If you can't scrounge 10, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Because I believe it's 13 in logic by default.
Something like that, yeah.
And the likelihood you get hard blocks behind those exact 13 is slim to none.
Very, very low. With that said, we have also found absolutely nothing in the first 3 minutes, but we're also only 3 minutes in.
Yeah. We have found $20. That is important. That is shield money right there.
Both runners just doing your standard opening of Adult Cack and Graveyard to get early checks. Snares, Love, and a Crate, we don't care.
That's what I thought that was, but...
It's nice to have, but thoroughly not required whatsoever in these settings, and neither runner is going to go out of the way for it. Well, I say nice to have, but in these settings you don't even for the runners of this caliber, you don't have a need to use Nehrus.
Those come up every once in a while, but
It's
mostly
very
for
relevant.
logical shenanigans.
Yep. And not in these settings. Song of
Storm.
Storms. Always nice.
Okay, that's good. We are getting less songs that potentially lock us in bad ways.
Yeah, Volc got really trolled by Dompe, got hit by at least I think 2 or 3 fireballs, but does make it in. And that gets absolutely nothing for his efforts. Womp womp.
We got an extra heart. That full container will be helpful, especially if we have to go fire earlier than later. Likelihood
yeah,
these
well,
runners are going to buy a tunic. 4 hearts is at least enough to barely be able to traverse the lava room.
Fire Temple's foolish and it's a stone. With Shadow and Spirit being the other 2 stones, I don't think we're beating fire until the end of the game.
True.
Or maybe they'll do so while using the time to think, but it's not a priority, given that it's foolish, and the odds of us needing an OOT song are zilch, basically, or very, very close to it.
No, but
Fire, Shadow, Spirit have such high item requirements, we're probably going to be in good by the time we get around to getting the OOT song.
Possibly. We could also have... there is an edge case where you have to beat fire for exactly long shot in IGC or something like that. But...
yeah, it's just unlikely.
Right.
Alright, nothing on the crater wall, nothing on the crater heart piece, it looked like. And Sunsong. No Nocturne and no Requiem is a little concerning.
Mm-hmm. Yep, those would be 2 of the songs that kind of mess with us.
Yep.
Now, if it's a case of we can get to it, but not in logic, like Requiem at Requiem or something like that, or Nocturne's out at Requiem, we don't have logical access, we could still go out there and get it. That's not going to hard lock us into anything stupid, but...
Yep. Engel did do a slightly unusual route through CAG, skipping Graveyard... Skulls, Andrew, and the Impact Cow is perhaps going upriver as chat suggested, doing a slightly different route, perhaps because, well, we found nothing in the first 7 minutes.
Right.
The trackers are empty. I've written that we've seen Nehru's Love and we've seen a few songs. That is all we know about right now. It's really not... It's not exactly an inspiring start to the seed. We'll also buy a shield here, as you mentioned. And Volc's going child, which makes sense when you find absolutely nothing as an adult. There's not much else left you can do with no items, so you can go child and see what you can scrounge up in child early checks.
I do like this play from Engel. We've seen a couple seeds this tournament already where going and at least, even if you can't get like Goron City or something, peeking the arch is actually beneficial because it has just maybe had what you need to break the seed open.
Yep. Volc just barely missing the child shooting gallery, so is redoing it. Nothing on top of DC apparently, because Engel's not going for it. And nothing on the child shooting gallery, although there's Heart 5 for Volc. Make use of Sunsong to do Night Market. Ooh. Strong's one is a wallet.
Okay. And that's
there's
a
mirror shield.
mirror.
We need that. It can't do anything with it, although it's funny the Engel just bought a shield a minute ago, but
yeah, you know.
But early mirror is nice. It's for those who in chat who may be more familiar with the LTDPR. The mirror shield is basically the ice rod of OOT. It locks the boss. It locks like two other tracks in Spirit Temple. It can basically be anywhere, so you can't complain too much about seeing it early.
Nope. And I would imagine this is a river play for Engel.
Yep.
River very powerful in these settings. She got 3 hints. Plus
One Sphere Zero check, 2 more you can just do.
Mm-hmm. With some fancy footwork and setups.
Yep, which both runners are well familiar with here.
I struggle on the lower one, but the upper one's pretty free and not too difficult to set up.
Now, Engel here, going river, Volc is going to go to Child Cack. Probably going to take a look at the well, I think, which honestly, not a bad idea. Because you don't want to go to Ratchet Seed because that's foolish, although that would normally be part of an early child opener like this.
Mm-hmm.
And Volc using Sun Song to get time of day for Dompe as well, and this will be getting some skulls too.
Okay, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you risk going to Ranch if it was for Saren?
I'm not sure if it's worth the hike.
Yeah.
Not sure. We do know Lake Hylia is foolish to know, so probably not.
Mm-hmm. And we have bomb bags and open grotto there in river.
Yep, why that grotto check can be very important. Minya and Ice, and Kokiri's Path of Twin Roba. We'll see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Because Spirit, again, very, very high item requirements. There's like 15 different things that can be logically required for that. Who knows which one it is?
Probably a strength.
Could be a strength, could be a ranged weapon, could be a hookshot, Colossus's Path to Bongo, probably for Nocturne.
Could just be the boots sitting in the ferry, but most likely Nocturne.
Most likely. Downpay for Volc is a heart piece. We do at least know it's not a bomb bag or mirror shield Path to Twin Roba because those two I've already seen, but
Mm-hmm.
Engel's heading over to Kokiri's adult now. Can't do Kokiri's Sword Chest, but can get Moto's house and check out Adult Lost Woods, especially with that bomb bag. I'm gonna probably head to Goron City after with that bomb bag. Ooh. Hey, choose!
You know
Speaking of explosives, I'll take that.
Yep. No one complaining about that one.
I was just gonna say that, as in fact, thinking that Engel currently might have a bit of an advantage on Volc because I don't know when Volc's going river, but those choose nerf it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, big chests.
Mido, please stop.
I mean, the items had to be somewhere.
Mido stole all the items this seed.
Apparently, hi, Art Rudo's letter. And a bow. Okay, Gabe. What's Path to Spirit Temple?
Magic would be my guess.
Magic, bow, and Rudos are all possible. Funny game.
Alright, show me the big one in this one. Come on. Okay, well,
small chest?
We know it is not this check.
No. Okay, both our frogs 1 hints were in Storm's Grotto. Funny game. Not that we really need it. We can access the wallet. Oh, and shoes are also really convenient for Volc because he can just full clear the well in one trip here.
Mm-hmm. That's Frog's 2's dead.
Yep.
You will have a little trouble here with my skip.
Yep. There we go.
So, Mito skip infinitely easier with a bow, a hook shot, or any arrows, ironically enough, will help you do that trick.
Yeah, because you can get the first-person view for the angle.
Yep. For anyone who didn't know, as long as you have the light, fire, or ice arrows, you will pull a bow out, regardless of whether you have a bow. You just cannot shoot it.
Yep. Hover boots for Engel in the Lost Woods Bomb Grotto. Or not Bomb, Scrub Grotto. And big just for Volc. Bomb bag! Okay, game.
That's just a Spear Zero bomb bag, so we're not gonna have a bomb bag path to anything.
Nope, because Storms is just in the Composer Grave and they started with CL.
Yep.
So that's nice. Both runners have explosives. That was a 20 pack of chews too, it looks like. And yet another big chest. Okay, now we're getting all the items, apparently.
What the jet is this?
Because that was Dins for Engel on the Wolfos Grotto, and just found our first bottle.
Forest is path to everything for Spear or for Shadow Temple.
Apparently, Lost Woods to SFM, yeah. And SFM is path to Bongo. Yes, I think so. Thank you.
Requiem for that was Ice to
Ice to Volv is a really interesting one because we already know what the song is. Hammer's probably in Ice then.
Right.
Yeah, SFM to Bongo. I think it might just be for the Dins we just picked up 2 seconds ago.
Or for that.
Or also for Requiem. And Ice is still path to Volv. Okay.
Alright, let's go. Really let's go get our Nocturne.
Yeah, might as well just do that. Yeah, the siege is suddenly dumping everything on us.
Mm-hmm.
No, Minuet cannot be the hinted path in Ice Cavern because it was separately hinted. That would be a bit redundant. Yes, Minuet might be our logical access to Forest Temple, but it cannot be the hinted thing. There has to be an item in Ice Cavern that is locking Fire Temple, probably the hammer.
Yeah. But, Requiem can be for Nocturne for this exact same reason. It's not hinted. That's kind of interesting.
And we've got Ruda's letter. We've got bottles. We do not care about blue. Blue fires are logically irrelevant.
Yep. Though they do make that ice trip a little easier.
Oh hey, strength 1 on Well Dead Hand. Okay, yeah, we're just getting absolutely everything. I think that the small chest on right hand didn't catch which type. I have no idea what's on the arch.
It kind of looks bottle-ish.
But, chat? No, is that a strength, actually?
Strength. That is a strength. That looked like the bracelet, but...
That looked like a bracelet, yep.
Now if it looks different the next time we come back, yep. Oh, look at that.
Nocturne as expected. Strength also might be useful, but yeah. Strength was going to be needed for Spirit Temple, but also might be useful for Shadow. Big chest in the basement, and the Skull Mask is dead.
Yep.
Yeah, suddenly we've just got a boatload of stuff. Oh, jeez. As fire arrow up this well. Okay. And you really don't see this too often, but,
It's not necessarily a bad play. You can clear all the way down to the Silver Rupee room, and we start with FW, so we can just drop FW in here.
Yep. Oh, I know. It's just unusual. At 19 minutes, we have the equipment to go into Shadow Temple.
Yeah. I now understand what you're meaning. Not going to Shadow without a hook, but you're meaning just, hey, we can do like 3/4 of Shadow.
And someone please track hover boots for Engel, just as a side note. But yeah, we're just we have tons of items. There's yet another big chest. Yay! Nope, okay. Second shoe pack. But we've got so much stuff from both runners. They have very, very different inventories, but...
Yes, Engel has hovers. They were outside SFM Bombable Grotto.
Yeah, they were the Scrub Grotto in Lost Woods. But, I mean, Jumbo, that's how Engel got in here. He doesn't have a hook shot. And no worries, Virgil. The Speedgaming tracker is probably hungry for breakfast. But yeah, we've got so much stuff. Both runners have wildly different inventories. But I'd expect both runners will go get the stuff the other got eventually. Well is a very strong place for Engel, even if there's no hints for it, and Engel's stuff was more or less all in pretty obvious places.
Okay, Engel only doing the first 2 checks. That's also a valid play.
Yeah, it's early, you can get back whenever you want with Knock, or he's just the same quitting. I'm not sure which one's actually faster, but it works, I guess.
Yeah.
This is gonna be Mirror Shot for Volc. Oh, apparently the save quit's faster than MU, thank you. Engel does play in retro.
Ooh. That's unfortunate. Engel getting the worst of the 3.
Yep. Getting the... I forget what the odds are. Might be a 2 in 9 for that one.
Yeah.
It is one of the back 3 that is the correct one. Which one is random per seed? But it is not a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 split. It's thing like 3 9s, 2 9s, and 4 9s.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 9s is the middle back, but it's a little silly.
Yeah.
Alright, small chest on the left, another big chest on the right. Game! Opponent's Song on Burning Cack. Fortress is foolish, so we do not care, and there's another bottle.
We might care. Or did we see...
Big pose. Well,
yeah.
Fortress is foolish. Last bomb bag and Shadow, funny. But Fortress is foolish. We don't know what Big Pose is, but they can both do it out of logic. This Arya song here, but I don't think we care a ton right now for Darunia, and yet another big chest!
Come on, game!
Silver scale. I mean, we eventually have to find some less interesting things to pick up, I guess, but,
I mean...
After the, first 10 minutes being pretty dead, we've suddenly gone from that to... items galore.
Scale is helpful in these settings, especially if we don't find irons quickly. It's halfway to gold scale water.
Yep.
So, not exactly useless with Lake being
It is one of the less useful things, and yeah,
right.
Foolish Lake nerfs it. Piece on the pot. We did get this strat with the Hot Rodder Goron and just a bomb refill. And Volc's off to Lost Woods, gonna get his items out of the bombable grottos. And we'll see the Child Song is. I'm half expecting for the Vanilla Sarias at this point.
Yeah. It's got to be
It
Sorry
doesn't
As
have to
Time.
be the Sorry Song of Time, Serenade, or the item.
Oh yeah, true. We do have an item.
Yep. 20 and 30 are dead to Sura. 10 is unknown for skulls. There's the hoppers for Volc. Small key for Engel.
So Shadow is logically strength locked.
Not that we care much from our side. Engel knows there's... And Engel doesn't really care either. He has Rudo's letter. He knows the Minuet and Ice if nothing else is available for his forest access. In fact, Cyrus does not have to be vanilla just because we do have logical access already by way of Minuet.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think that was a 5-pack of choosing Shadow Temple. Womp womp. And this is our last chest here in Shadow Temple, and it is small. Alright, we're done. There's our okay, there's our item.
Oh my god! What the? Okay, well that's the first time I've actually seen it be useful.
That's kind of funny, actually. Serenade confirmed in Ranch, and okay, so, that's also probably Path to Bongo.
What just happened there is because we start with 2 songs being Prelude, just to have a nice, ability to warp around, makes the seats faster in general. There is an 1 song check out of the entire song pool is mixed into the pool of items, and 90% of the time it's junk, and 1% of the time it's your logical hookshot.
Yeah. Oh, to be specific, we always start with a random song because that replace. Oh, hey, Skull Kid's dead. Oh, choose. Which more or less is dead at this point. But we always start with 1 random song because that replaces the. We have Free Child Zelda on, so we start with Zelda's Letter and the song that would be from the Zelda's Lullaby check, which today that would turn out to be Vanilla ZL. And then, yeah, Prelude is separate, just start with, and that. And so there is a random song in the pool that is replaced by an item, which is entirely random and so happens to be a hookshot today. Yeah, XFM's path for everything, apparently. Is what I think I can say about that. Nothing on DMT Fairy. Shadow Temple is path to Morpha. That's interesting. The only thing I've seen in there so far is a scale. Lake's Foolish, as you mentioned. So either there's something deeper, which we'll be able to go take a look in Shadow Temple when he goes back adult. And full cleared, in fact. Huh, Shadow might be our first beaten dungeon, which is hilarious. Oh, both Shadow and... Yeah, Shadow, I think, is going to be our first beaten dungeon at this point. I mean, there are other dungeons we can clear, but that's our first clearable required dungeon, which is hilarious, which is very, very funny.
Right, and I don't think it's the scale.
Me neither. Like that would imply that Tektite Grotto is a thing, probably.
That's the only thing I can think of that it would imply is Tektite.
Because Lake's Foolish.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. It's not for like something stupid like domain access or something like that because we have ZL.
No, because we've got ZL and bombs. It's not domain access and Lake's Foolish. Yeah, so it would have to be for Tektite Grotto in these settings.
For Longshot or Irons, or God
something
forbid,
that
a second wallet in Tektite.
Unlikely second. Well, hey, city rating with a party of 7. Welcome in. We've got ourselves a very, very interesting scene. The first, like, 10 minutes were extremely dry, and then we've suddenly just found everything under the sun since, basically.
Yep. This scene
Chef Temple
was
is legitimately looking at, like, our first completable required dungeon, which is kind of funny. It's not hard required Burton Cack for a Pona song, as Engel just found out, because our fortress is foolish today, and nobody really cares about big pose. Yeah, seed is just front-loaded. Engel's missing items, the answer to which is basically go well, as we get a second bow here in Kokiri. 4 major items out of 6 checks in Kokiri. Funny game.
that's
There were
actually
3
really
big
good.
chests in Mido's house, and that was a bow, too.
Right, that's good for us. So we know Bo is not path.
Nope. Not that it was likely to be, anyway. Magic and Rudo's letter are more likely candidates.
Right.
While that skill is unlikely to be the path, Engel is going to make use of it to go over to Ice Cavern real quick and see what's path to Volvin there. Probably your hammer.
Makes sense.
Might as well. He can pick up Minuet while he's here too. Not required, but is nice to have. Well, I think it might be our logical forest access, but they don't care a ton about that.
Nope.
And Volc's missing items are also pretty easy to pick up. He's missing Scale and Shadow, which he's going to go to. Hyrule Castle Fairy dead. Got no dual hits, interestingly. And more big chest. There's our first slingshot. Okay. Oh hey, BGS in the valley, we will never get that.
Okay.
It's nice to have, you're not going out of your way for it. But yeah, Volc is missing a skill from Adel SF, is missing a skill from Shadow Temple, which will be his first dungeon. Blue Fires are in the Colossus Fairy. Requiem's on menu at Nocturnes of the Colossus. He's gonna get that without issue. He doesn't actually know Desert Colossus's path. The hint was in River, but it's also not an issue because he needs to go there anyway. Nothing on bowling. Hey, yo, Somple, in the chat there. And, Child's Safewood is in Lost Woods from Goron City. Not super useful at this point. I don't know when or if Volc's ever going back Child at this point, but, sure. One thing, I guess Volc will probably want to go back Child to Planet Bean for Colossus Arch for a strength upgrade, but that might be about one of the only things he does as Child that's left. Shadow is still Pathomorph, what for we don't know. That was not a good angle. I have no idea what that was on the icy waters.
Oh.
Volc is going up river as Child, I guess, just to make sure he cleans stuff up because he's never coming back here. And turn in Rudo's letter, because that is, no, just in case, I suppose. So we'll get his missing couple of, we'll get his other bomb bag and his missing Colossus to Bongo path. Actually, I don't think the strength in Colossus can be pathed to Bongo because we know that there's a different one available on the Dead Hand, and I think we have everything we could logically require for Shadow Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Big chest here. And there's a hammer, as expected.
Oh,
and yes, in fact, we have triple path SFM for Din's Fire on the Wolfos Grotto, a hookshot on the Saria song check, and Requiem on the adult song check. Because game's got jokes.
So something there is for Spirit Temple. Or not Spirit, Shadow.
Yeah, I can't imagine what. Sombre Minuet is hinted in ice. That is our logical access to Shadow Temple. Or logical access to Adult SFM for Requiem for Nocturne for, Shadow. Saria Song is confirmed to be on Prelude by process of elimination. Behind Forest Temple. In fact, speaking of the Ice Cavern has Minuet, there's the hint for Volc. That hint was there. Yeah, we've got all 5 path hints. We're missing 1 single sometimes and 2 dual hints. I'm not really sure how much we care about them at this point. I think we're a long shot in either Irons or Gold Scale from Glow Mode, in fact.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
And we know one of those things, at least, is going to be in or behind Shadow Temple, because that's Path to Morpha.
Yep. Because first strength was in Well?
Correct. First strength is in Well, second's on Colossus Arch.
Yeah, at least we think
both are accessible. Yeah, both are accessible. Somple Volc does know that Ice is path to Volv. He got both copies of the hidden in SFM, so he'll go here. He'll go to Ice as a delay at some point. Now he's gonna turn Naruto's letter. He might set for Wars and Jabu. I don't think you do rank test here when you've got this much other stuff to do. And last chest of ice is useless. But Minuet is nice. Pretty for Engel, he doesn't really have any dungeons he wants to beat as adult, so I think he's gonna go do some child checks. Which there is a lot to do, and he's also gonna go plant the bean for the Colossus Arch. Buy and plant bean for the Colossus Arch.
Right, and basically put himself in go mode.
Yeah, just about, which is... Like, like, when, at the start of the scene, when I saw this medallion land, I was like, we could be here for a while. Just because of how high item requirement, the item requirements are for a required dungeon today, and then the game just gives us all of them. I don't think we're going to quite see a sub 45-minute glow mode, just because it's going to take longer than that for somebody to get through Shadow Temple, but
yeah.
It might be sub. There's a real chance of it being sub-hour glow mode.
Yep.
And that is the thing too. We know there has to be We know there has to be something else in Shadow. There's almost guaranteed something else in Shadow Temple. The odds of the scale being path are minimal. But that does leave the question of where the other thing we don't have for Water Temple is.
Right, and that would be the worst case scenario is a casino for that.
Yep. Because both Longshot and Irons are neither a Longshot nor Irons lock a lot of things, so they can be in a lot of places.
I guess the other thing that we could have a casino for is like the strength 3 situation, but
Yeah, well, that's for much later down the road, because we're not
Right.
looking at the Gan's castle until... Oh, hey, Composer Grave hint. Funny. At least we know we don't have to worry about his Orange's chest. Yeah, we don't have to worry about Gan's castle for a while yet, because we have to beat Shadow of Spirit and Fire first. Volc setting for Roars and is leaving as expected. He's got way too many other things to do that's not going through here. One thing Volc really does need to do is go run up to Adel SFM to get Requiem, but he knows that has to be somewhere. So I'd expect him to go over there looking for Nocturne or Requiem, and probably Requiem, because he knows that has to be available someplace, most likely to get Colossus access. Thinking about how he wants to route.
Womp.
Actually, no, Star Song doesn't have to be on Prelude. We're missing Song of Time as well. Those two are between Prelude and OOT. Either way, Minuet denies our logical Adel SFM access.
Speaking of OOT, we just got the OOT.
Oh, yeah, Austin's fridge. Volc's going ice. Doesn't have irons, doesn't have scale, is gonna go get that hammer. Which I guess makes sense. Minuet's he's gonna have to do it at some point. Minuet's gonna make it faster for him to go check the Adel SFM he needs to check. And well, it's as good a time as any.
This also makes sense from Engel's side. Gonna go get the wallet. What's wrong?
Oh, well, you don't need the wallet, but you want the beam. Might turn in Rudos and do Child Domain as well. Yeah, the reason why we're skipping Ranch for both runners is because it's foolish. It has Serenade in there, but we aren't going all the way out there just for that with Foolish Lake.
Interesting.
Yeah, Engel might just do one trip Child here, which might save him a little time on Volc, who will have to go back Child to plant the beam for Colossus, but with Prelude and Requiem, it's not too terrible. A little annoying to go hike for the beam, but that's about it.
And is planting the bean, which probably confirms what we think is a strength.
Yep. And we'll do Child Spirit while we're here, because why not?
So one thing Engel absolutely has to do before going back Child is needs to play
or Adult.
Minuet. Or yeah.
Has to go play Minuet because he has to get yep. He otherwise is gonna be in a bit of a pickle. I think he will, because he is still missing songs. Ouch on the shield.
Unfortunate. Oh.
Big chest. And there's actually Volc's first copy of Shadow Demorpha, so he now knows that. The other copy was on DMT and he hasn't been up there yet. So this choose strat is not in default logic. It is a trick you can turn on, but it doesn't really matter. We know where a slingshot is, and there's a boss key over here.
So Child Spirit absolutely required today.
Yep.
Nice void.
I still can't tell what that is. And strength 3. Okay.
Okay, game.
Now, on the other hand, Engel is not going to the well, which has one strength with the missing strengths, and he's not. Yeah, but he's gonna check bowling maybe here. Let's see. He doesn't. Well, was a bottle, a strength he doesn't necessarily need in fire arrows. The bigger thing for him is going to be that song check for hookshot.
I wonder if Engel's gonna. Nope. Not gonna check it. Hyrule Castle Fairy.
Now, Volc is going to have a somewhat slower ice than Engel because he doesn't have
Hyrule
blue
Castle
fire
Fairy's
arrows.
Never mind. I'm in
Yeah.
the
You're fine. Yeah, Volc's going to have a little bit of a slower ice camera than Engel because Volc does not have blue fire arrows. Those were in Colossus Fairy, and he hasn't been to Battle SFM or Colossus yet. Not a big deal, just a side note. It can matter in a race between two runners of this caliber, but it's really too early to call anything yet. We've got lots to do.
Yeah.
And Engel doesn't know who Castle Fairy's dead because that was in the Boulder of Destiny hint, and he didn't check that.
Mm-hmm.
A hammer here for Volc.
Is Dompe set up with him?
It looks like it, yep. Has Nocturne to rat it. I think we have solidly hit the mid-game at this point, wherein we've got most of the items between our runners, we've got a lot of dungeons to be in, we're just kind of doing checks.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we haven't seen this show.
Oh, this has been hinted, we got a duel.
Oh, it is. That's right.
Here, pulling up the challenge, the winner of this race will be facing off against the Exodus in round 2. Also a very strong runner. Should be an interesting matchup for whichever one of these two gets Exo next round. If you have questions, chat, feel free to ask. What season is this? This is the 2024 Speedgaming Live online Ocarina of Time Randomizer Tournament, which is held as part of Speedgaming's annual Speedgaming Live tournaments. There are ones online and ones in person. Online over the summer, the in-person Speedgaming Live event will be this fall, October 3rd through 6th in Herndon, Virginia. We run on there are tournaments for a variety of games, and there's several Zelda games. There's Metroid, there's Final Fantasy, there's a whole bunch of others, Mega Man, Time Spinner. This is not the main. This is not like the main tournament of OTR, which we had our season 7 of that this past spring. OTR typically is hosted more on the Zelda Speedruns family of networks and affiliates, but the SGL tournaments are hosted on Speedgaming because it is Speedgaming Live. We do run on settings fairly close to that of our typical main tournament setting, so to speak. We have we shuffle the items in the chest. We shuffle gifts from NPCs. We shuffle like freestanding heart pieces and the like. We do not shuffle things like the business scrubs, the Skulltula tokens, or just the Skulltula house rewards. We don't shuffle the crates, the pots, or some of the other silly stuff you can turn on in this randomizer. The win conditions are that you need to collect 3 spiritual stones to open the Rainbow Bridge to Ganon's castle, and then you will need the Shadow and Spirit medallions to get the Ganon's castle boss key. Today, those dungeons, we started with the Shadow medallion, replacing the one free medallion you get from Rauru in the vanilla game. Start with the Shadow medallion, and then they need to beat Fire, Shadow, and Spirit for the spiritual stones, and Water is our Spirit medallion.
Also, the Light Medallion is a pre-completed dungeon, so in this case it's Deku. We will never be setting foot in there because it cannot happen.
Nope. But yeah, we do keep the settings fairly tame. OOTR's been out for about 5 years now. 5 to 6 years, I think it came out. The earliest version was in like late 2018, if memory serves. Early 2019. And there's been a lot of work done for the randomizer. We keep to more or less just kind of the base shuffle, more or less. We do keep this tournament does run on a short time frame. We had 3 weeks of qualifiers, and then we have a month for brackets. So we don't want settings that can take 6 hours or more, because all sanities can and will take quite a long time, even for top runners like these. Like in these settings, there's about, I believe, 250 or so individual shuffled checks that can have items.
That sounds right.
Now, we do have hints, like the one that Volc just read, to give us some guidance as to where stuff is. So in reality, you can eliminate a decent amount of checks. I like to compare it to ALTDPR. Sometimes just 216 checks, and after you account for hints, you end up with, I think, a pretty comparable amount in most OOTR seeds as far as what you actually need to do. Because Foolish just pare down quite a bit generally, and then you have your sometimes and always hints, which do pare down like 20 to 40 checks, frankly. Engel clearing out the well. He's gonna find his strengths. Well, he will now know about all 3 strength upgrades in a minute. And Shadow for Volc. We'll see what's pathing here.
Both runners basically done the same thing that the other one has now. Really, the only thing Engel has left is to go and get the hook shot off of Sacred Forest Meadow.
And I expect he will play Minuet after this. He knows he's missing a song or two. He also just doesn't want to come back child at this point.
Yeah. And the big reason I think Engel didn't go there was because of the child spawn location being right outside of Child Goron City.
Yep.
It's just, oh, I'm going to go to Goron City. No reason for me to run all the way into SFM when I could just do this.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's strength too.
Yep. He knows that his strength 3 is in the Colossus Arch. Strength 3 is also admissible for Volc because he has to go child for his Spirit Boss key.
Mm-hmm.
And Volc, I think, and Volc's gonna probably just check Child Spirit when he goes to plant the bean for the strength on the Arch, so. It's just talking about Volc and Spirit Temple. It reminds me a little of the first time I saw Volc race was 2 years ago now, almost 2 years ago, in the 2022 SGL online tournament, where he was still relatively new at the time. That was the first time I've really seen him race. And he was the underdog in that seed, and despite quadruple dipping Spirit Temple for complicated reasons, still won the race. Opponent forgot Colossus Fairy, I think, is what it was there. And when I say quadruple dip Spirit Temple, I think it was a combination of unfortunate key placements and a lack of explosives and a fire source.
Oh, wrong song.
Oh, Engel, this is
Okay.
huge.
Never mind.
He is walking out as Volc gets that scale.
Oh, this is to Richard and TCG.
One's game is dead, so it's Richard.
Okay, Richard. Fine. Hopefully he doesn't forget about SFM.
I hope so. Yeah, Volc's come a long way since quadruple dipping Spirit Temple. He wasn't bad then, but he's improved significantly since, and there's a reason why Volc is the top seeded this year's tournament.
Okay,
Safe code for Engel, okay.
This is fine. This is just SFM now.
You can't actually play War songs in Glenn's game because for game coding things. Oh, he's also gonna check. Oh, he hasn't done on.
Oh, this would make more sense, and then play Minuet to.
Yeah.
Engel, you need to play Minuet.
Oh dear. As you say that, he played Prelude.
Yes, and this is bad because he's going back adult.
Yep, that is one last location hookshot for him there. I think he's probably going Spirit Temple next with his item set and choices. Yep, that's Spirit Temple, which checks. It makes sense. He's got Strength 2. He has a bow for agile ranged weaponry. He's got fire sources. I hope for his. I don't know if I want him to find the other hookshot available somewhere, and that it's just Irons here in Shadow, or not. Because if he does, because on the one hand it would help him get a hookshot, but on the other hand it would also lead him away from the one on Saria song.
Right. The issue is the longer he stays out without a hook shot, the further behind he's just going to get.
Yeah, and I said that I was thinking he would go Saria's song looking for the song, but admittedly he doesn't have a lot of songs left. He's missing opponent. He's using Saria's Song of Time and Serenade, none of which are especially useful, and the item. But you know, what are the odds the item is useful and well, yeah.
Well, and I wonder if he just assumes, oh, it's just Saria's on Child, and Forest Access was, this Ice.
Yeah. We'll see. It's just kind of unfortunate because so far it has been such a front-loaded seat. Yeah, Shadow Pod's a key.
Yeah, right. So what's the likelihood?
Yeah. It's just Engel kind of playing a bit of the odds game. It is a very competitive race here. Both runners are very skilled. And admittedly, actually, I was thinking Engel would go there just to clean up the songs, but he doesn't really have a song he wants there, so it's just kind of a case of bad luck. Volc went Child much earlier, so getting Saria's song the Saria song check was just part of his early clear Child stuff. Yes, SFM's Path to Bongo, but there was also both Dinsfire and Requiem in there, which are both very, very clearly shadow paths. It's not hard to figure that one out. Now, Engel cannot get this check, but we can peek it. This is hard hookshot locked. And it's nothing.
I wonder if Engel might reconsider going back child just to check it when he starts running out of places and reversing to GTG seems like the play. I wonder if he would go check it to see if Song of Time's out there.
Maybe. I'm wondering, Boomerang might not be the worst find for Engel, because menu add into Scale to River would be his fastest way to Jabu, which would get him that hook shot.
Right.
So far, no sign of a second item in Shadow Temple, but there is likely to be something here. It could be the scale, but that means gold scale's available somewhere to go do Tektite Grotto. Big chest? For Engel?
I'm trying to bet his bomb cubes.
It's possible.
Alright.
Flame check, which,
that doesn't really get him back.
no, although Bigoron could have something useful. Because it is claim check only, Bigoron is not always in these settings.
There's a key. Okay.
Side note, Spirit's also fire locked.
Yep.
One of Map or Sunblock has to have a key. Not that that's an issue because they have both fire arrows and dins, but well, the very short version for Chad is key logic in pretty much any Zelda random assumes you use your keys in the worst way possible, which gets interesting for Spirit Temple because you can access it as both stages, and there's about 15 different items that can be logically required for here. And that's vanilla Spirit Temple. Master Quest Spirit Temple is worse. It goes from 15 to like 20 things that can be logically required in Master Quest Spirit.
Yep.
Including nearly every song in the game, Master Quest Spirit Temple. But the short version is if there's a key on map or sunblock room, then the dungeon logically requires fire arrows or logically requires fire arrows or Din's fire to complete it, and you can tell by counting where the keys are. Big chest here is light arrows. Okay. That's not a bad spot for those.
So, yeah, Engel's not in the worst position here still. Because he does
Big
have...
chest for Volc is irons, yet that checks.
Okay. So... that is good that Engel could luck into a different hook. That doesn't help him point him to the long shot.
No, I almost don't want Engel to find the other hook shot because that just sends him away from this first one.
Right. Rang would send him back to the first one.
Rang is probably the way to get him back there fastest, yeah.
Because you're with Lon being foolish, the song there has to be Serenade, and they're not going to go there for Serenade.
No, Lake's
which
foolish.
would be the optimal route to take to get to Domain to get to Jabu. So Forest would be the next fastest.
Yep, Minuet with scale. I mean, Longshot can be anywhere at this point.
Yep. It could be just like right here on Bongo.
It could, which would be,
just kind of funny.
Which would be basically go mode for Volc.
Yep.
Oh, so yeah, happy belated 1 hour, everyone. Big chest?
This is a big chest. Is this hook?
Nope. Paperweight.
Engel very happy to see that.
Absolutely useless in these settings. There is technically ways for that to be logically relevant, but basically is pretty much useless in every tournament setting ever.
Wasn't there like in season 1? Wasn't it? Oh, thanks, game. I don't have the spoiler log in front of me, FYI. So
okay.
Back to
yeah.
funny jokes about paths. There's this long shot. Back to what I was saying, though. I don't remember what I was saying because that just went.
Never mind. Volc's in go mode. He's playing Prelude. He's gonna go buy beans. He's gonna find his rank 2 in Child Spirit. Roll his eyes. And,
GG. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's an unfortunate GG right there, but.
That is because it was such a close start, but unfortunately, Engel just. I get why he skipped the Saria song check. I would have done it just so he didn't have to worry about it. Like, it could have been Song of Time or something. He could have turned in Saria's song for the song checks.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes sometimes, and that's
wonder,
just feels it bad.
I almost wonder if he mindfuled it on just the fact of, oh, I just started an SFM. I just checked Saria's off the list of, oh yeah, I did that already, and just mindfuled
Also possible, yeah, because that does happen.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but is what is.
Yep.
I remember what I was saying. Wasn't Paperweight required to read incidents in season 1 or something like that?
Mask of Truth.
Oh, it was Mask of Truth. Okay.
It might one or the other. I forget. I think it was the Paperweight. Yeah. Season 1 had a lot of weird things going on. Yeah. Volc is in just full-blown go mode at just over the hour mark. Glow mode. Well, he's in glow mode. We know
he's in go mode. The
yeah.
second he goes back into spirit, he's gonna have the light arrows.
Yeah. He obviously thinks his strength 2 is on the Colossus Arch. He's gonna laugh when he sees strength 3 here in Child Spirit.
Yeah.
So why has the long shot finished the game? Volc at this point is in full, what we like to call go mode, essentially. Engel going DC makes sense for the Densk here, with no hook shot, unfortunately. But Volc has knowledge of every item he needs to beat the game. He has already cleared Shadow Temple. He thinks his second strength upgrade is on the Colossus Arch. There's also one here in Spirit Temple he's about to get to beat Spirit Temple. He already has a hammer for Fire Temple. He's just not touched it because the place is foolish, so there's nothing in it. He has Longshot, Iron Boots, and Zelda's Lullaby from Water Temple. There's a few other things that can be relevant there, but he can clear it.
The only thing right now stopping Volc
he doesn't technically know where light arrows are, but Ganondorf always gives you a hint where light arrows are. He will say, you'll never, something to the effect of, you'll never beat me without the light arrows from insert region, nice Kakiri sword, which in this case would be light arrows from Spirit Temple. Volc is also likely going to just get that when he goes for Spirit Temple. Not a guarantee because it is sunblock rooms, but it's also not hard to get back to. It also won't make a difference, unfortunately, whether he gets sunblock the first trip through or if he goes back. Volc is going to pick up Strength 3 just in case light arrows are behind it.
Yeah. So the biggest stopper of Volc right now is exactly Song of Time being on Forest Medallion, and Boss Key and Water is on River Chest. That is
On the other hand, though, that is just going to slow him down. It won't make a difference in the race.
Yeah. That's the only thing that can slow him down, is going, oh, hey. But that doesn't help Engel get back in the race.
No. Unfortunately for Engel, he is missing a hookshot on the Saria song check in Sacred Forest Meadow as child. Just because of the way songs are only shuffled with each other in these settings. You can't shuffle songs anywhere or between dungeon rewards, but in these settings, songs are just shuffled amongst themselves. Engel had done a fairly long adult segment to open the game, so he already had a lot of songs when he went child the first time. And so by the time he was doing Child Lost Woods towards the end of his child segment, he didn't have a lot of songs left, and the ones that were left were not particularly useful. He was also missing an item on a song check, as we do start with, because there is a song replaced by an item in these settings. But the odds of that being recorded are generally pretty low, until today, of course. But well, that's random for you. And at this point, Engel is just playing behind. He has half a Shadow Temple to do. He does have Flora's Wind set in there, but he still has to do half a Shadow. He's currently clearing DC.
Which makes sense because of density.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's just doing stuff that is not the dungeons he needs to do, because Volc is just clear dungeons and go at this point. Volc knows Volc doesn't have light arrows. He knows he can get the hint if nothing else. He'll check chests on the way in the dungeons he still needs to clear, but he's not going to go out of his way for anything. He doesn't need to.
Yeah. If you
Like Volc has just about everything that can lock a check in the game, except for his boomerang. But but from his perspective, if boomerang is required, he's just going to go grumble and check density at that point. Like, you do check stuff on the way to make sure it's not your light arrows or boomerang, but it's not worth it. There's only 4 checks in Jabba. You're not going out of your way for the very low odds your boomerang is locking it.
But if you guys want to see Engel have any chance, KD needs to have the boomerang right now.
Yeah, basically.
Because
speaking of that,
I mean, yes, Engel is behind a Shadow Temple and a Spirit Temple almost, but the thing is he's already got FW set in the back half of Shadow, so he just needs to finish it, and then he'll be in the same go mode that Volc is, and already has part of Spirit completed also.
Yeah, like I don't like boomerang here would bring him even, but it would make it at least a lot closer than it currently is, because unfortunately this really isn't a close race at the moment. And that's just how the randomizer goes. Like, both runners' openings made sense. They found pretty much nothing in Adult Cack and the Graveyard. Volc decided to go Child immediately after that, looking for the early Child checks. Engel decided to stick around as Adult a little longer, go Zora's River for hints and items, and then went to Adult Kokiri Lost Woods, looking for his... because with Ranchful, just because it's a little faster as Adult and whatnot. And unfortunately, it just turns out that with Engel's route, the Child SFM song just really wasn't on his priority list. And yeah, Volc is leaving some lock room aside. It is a log check. He doesn't need it for a key, so he will have to come back for it, which is a couple of minutes, but it's not a lot. It won't make a particular difference. This won't be a sub 130 for Volc, but it probably will sub 145 unless the water boss key is nasty. If Engel had gotten the song, this would be a very, very close race. because Engel had done half of Shadow. He'd cleared a decent chunk of. He would have been able to go Child, plant the Colossus Bean, and get the and not have to go back Child a second time like Volc did, which would have saved him a fair bit of time. But as it were, it just kind of didn't work out.
Oh, no. Darn. I wonder if this is Big Pose out of logic.
It might be. Volc might have still been ahead if Engel had gotten Hook at that time, but it's a lot harder to say. It would have been much closer, at least, at any rate.
Oh, this is OGC. That makes sense also.
Yep, that does check. Unfortunately, yeah, Hookshot is one of those things that is basically impossible to avoid in these settings. It lacks a lot of things in the game. And unfortunately, Engel's basically hit the point in any seed when you don't have a hookshot for an hour and 15 minutes, whether that's because you goofed something like Engel did or just because the seed sucks, because there are some seeds where it just really sucks and you don't get the hookshot for an hour and a half. Nice slingshot.
That's good. That is good.
Yeah, he might send him Child for.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, target. Nope.
Not yet. I mean, it is still just target, but yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, just Hookshot lacks so much stuff that Engel's at the point here, an hour 15 in, where he still doesn't have a hookshot. He doesn't know if it's the seed being silly or he's goofed something, because there are seeds where the seed just decides to put the hookshot in some really silly places, and you don't have one for an hour and a half. But either way, you kind of are just at a point where you're running out of checks. Hookshot locks a ton of stuff, so you're just looking for, what am I missing that this hookshot locks? That isn't hookshot locked, and there's not a lot left for Engel.
Or you mean like hinted on Frogs 1 and hinted on Big Pose, and you can't access either one of them for 2 hours?
It was Frogs 2 and Big Pose in that one qual, but yes. Yeah. That was silly.
Because sometimes it doesn't even matter if they're hinted, because the game will be stupid.
Yep.
Oh, that was happy to see the launch.
Yeah. Engel's clearing up field, I think.
Yep. This makes sense also.
Yep. Again, from his perspective, he's just trying to figure out what is left that's not hookshot locked. There's a reason he's not going to GTG. He has no access to it.
Right. Well, he does out of logic, but...
He's missing hookshots. He doesn't want to go GTG without hookshots.
Yeah.
Because GTG access, because reversing the wasteland is not an illogic trick in these settings, so you need either Longshot or Eponas. He obviously has no hookshots, and Eponas is on Burning Cack. So, he knows correctly that GTG is a waste of time looking for hookshots. Like, sure, technically his Iron Boots could be in there, but
yeah.
Why would he go in there looking for his Iron Boots at this point in time? Gonna beat Fire next for Volc.
Yeah, and with Pony Song being on Burning Cack, that's even less of a reason to look for where Song of Time's at for GTGQ logic.
Mm-hmm.
Or for toilet logic, for that matter.
Yep. Oh hey, there was a hidden open grotto for Engel that Water Darklink and River Chests have a junk and a small key. So we know where the boss, so we know we don't need Song of Time, which is nice for Volc. He won't have the hint, but that doesn't matter, because he'll find the boss key before he gets there.
Okay. This is a child play. Now let's see if he immediately plays menu up there and goes, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then immediately goes back adult.
Yep. Save quit, I think, might be slightly faster to get to the woods target.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just gonna keep.
No.
He's going rain chest.
Yeah. It also makes sense. There's you got a slingshot. Slingshot does open it up. Technically, bombs also do, but
Oh, I forgot when I said this would be a sub 145. Well, it probably still might be, but let's see where this fire temple boss key is, because that could be very deep. Game looks to do that to us. Yeah, there's a very real chance Engel thinks he's just done the sorry slime check at this point. Because that happens too. It's usually a very, very early game check. Child save quit is right there in Lost Woods, so you might just think, oh, I've done it already, which does happen sometimes. No one's perfect, brain farts happen, and unfortunately, well, here's where we're at.
I think this would have been a different race had Engel done Child first. Or done a...
If he'd done Child first, I think he and Volc would have had really similar routes.
Yeah.
Because the scene was otherwise fairly straightforward.
Yeah, well, and the bigger problem was it was loaded in both directions.
Yeah, like Engel had a lot of stuff.
It's
just not the hook shot.
From Engel's perspective, it was, hey, this is so front loaded for me on the back half of this. Okay, so where, like, the only thing I'm now missing is a hook, and you have all these places to go to which aren't that desirable. I don't necessarily get the SFM one because, well, you can just pop a song and be right there and get it, but I also understand that you're not looking for songs anymore. You're just looking for a hook, and why would you look for a hook on a song check?
Yeah.
Unless it's the jump one. But that doesn't make sense. And it could also just be he saw the Lon Lon's foolish. Oh, Lon Lon just has the jump.
Yeah.
So, then just interpreting, well, SFM is going to be the song, and it is, in fact, not the seed.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how is the torch still lit on fire? Okay. So, the torch is still lit on fire because of something called flame storage. So, what happens is sticks are stupid in this game and are very properly coded to be like Master Swords, which makes them awesome. But something funny happens when you try to put a stick away in fire. So when the tip of the stick goes back in to your inventory, when it passes through fire, it stays lit. And as long as that torch is still loaded into memory, so for instance, that's why they light that torch down towards the bottom of domain. That torch is still in memory when you are in the area by the waterfall torches underneath. And because it's still in memory, it still remembers that you stored a lit stick there, which is why you can pull it out and still be on fire.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's also the same way. It's the similar concept of doing composer's check with, or composer's torches with a stick also. Ordinarily, if you try to light the stick and run, you will never make it. But it's like 3/4 of the hallway going back, roughly, or a little over a half, is still that those torches are still loaded into memory, which is why you can pull the stick out and start side hopping and barely make it.
Yeah.
This is a perfectly coded game with nothing wrong with it. Alright.
There's a boss key for fire, so map just not too bad, all things considered.
No. They could have had us climb all the way to flare dancers.
Yeah, because the game does do that sometimes. Yeah, flame storage is one of the few tricks allowed in OOTR, which normally otherwise runs on the standard rule set, which is a more or less glitchless rule set with a couple of rare exceptions.
And
Flame storage is just speed up. It sequence breaks like 2 checks and makes a few others faster.
Yeah, rolling does not reset the timer for it. The other thing you cannot do is pull out a sword and swing. If you pull out a sword, you will cancel flame storage.
No.
That's one of the few things you can't do.
Yep.
Alright. So I wonder if Engel's got to be thinking it's on 10 skulls now.
Yeah, we don't exactly. We haven't. I don't remember if we'll checked it, but it is a logical check for him to do at this point. On the other side, Volc's down for Volc. For those who are wondering, there's two Volvagios base. Actually no. Yeah, Volv is down for Volc. I'm scared of rating. There's 2 Volvagios basically. There's two different hitboxes. One for the Volc that flies around, and one for the one that you play Whack-A-Mole with. And the one that flies around, that while you are playing Whack-A-Mole, the second hitbox for the one that flies around stays in the hole that it last flew into, so you can just hit that with bombs and do it in one cycle Volv instead of dealing with the fly cycle.
Yep. And if you saw the pattern there, it's a 1-3-3 pattern, and Volvagia is a weird boss where normally you're like, oh, I just want to do as much damage to Volv as possible. You do not, because there is. I think you can overkill Volv, and it makes the fight go sideways.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Yeah, and yeah, Jimba, we still haven't seen Engel play menu at nice gold scale. Not that that's gonna do anything at all for Engel. And that is Prelude. I think Engel has well and truly forgotten about it. Because at this point, I would have at least checked it for Vanilla Sarias, if absolutely nothing else, looking for the 2 Sarias checks. Like, sure, it's not the most valuable of songs. It might not be the most valuable of songs from his perspective, but it wouldn't be nothing. What's even left for Engel is a good question at this point. Because he's really, really low on checks. Volc goes to water the really, really slowly. Tech type for Engel?
Oh god. No. If he thought it was in fire, he would have played Bolero already. This is
and fire is foolish.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't think it's in fire. Never mind.
So the thing why we're talking about the Saria song check is that the Saria song check is an item this seed. They start with 2 songs. We do always play with the setting that is Free Child Zelda, so they start with Zelda's Letter and the song from the Zelda's Lullaby check, which today that was Zelda's Lullaby. They also start separately with Prelude, which is just taken out of the item pool, and one of the 12 song checks is replaced by an item as a result. Today, the song check replaced by an item was the Saria song check, and the item on said song check was a hookshot. And Engel is probably confused. So yeah, Engel is really short of hookshot. It is the only one available in the seed. The other one is on Bongo Bongo, which is hard hookshot locked. And Engel is probably going to beat Foolish Fire while he thinks about what he missed.
Yeah. So this is like the 99% scenario of this will never happen. Unfortunately, we got the 1%, and the seat sucks for Engel right now because of it.
Yeah.
And that's
It is
just
it is a bit of a brain fart, but you can also get how he missed it, and it's just it feels bad. Rando be rando. Like his route otherwise made pretty much sense if he'd played Minuet at any point when he was doing his Child's Lost Woods Goron City, where he would have been in a very close position to Volc, but
if not even actually, if he would have played it, he'd actually be ahead of Volc at this point. Because he would have instantly just preluded back, or not prelude, Ferror's back to, what you call it?
Shadow, maybe. Yeah, I think it would have been a lot closer. I possibly had that's just he scatterbrained the check, and here we are.
Yeah. Because up until that point, he was arguably ahead of Volc. So.
Ahead, it's hard to say ahead versus just straight up tie because of how loaded the early game was, but
that is true.
But certainly, this would have been such a close race because there was a lot of items once you got past the first 10-ish minutes. None of them were in particularly terrible places aside from apparently this hookshot.
Yeah, lucky for Engel at this point, this isn't hookshot locked by Peter.
No.
Yeah, this is kind of the seed where you go, is it on chickens? Did I skip chickens? Did I skip, insert bad long check here? Maybe he's figured it out.
I'm hoping he did.
Because I don't know what he's got left in Child. I think this is literally last location. Unless, oh no, Dad exists.
But he doesn't have Saria's song.
All right.
He hasn't done rank chest though.
Yeah, he did.
I think he never did.
Yeah, he went into job for it.
So yeah, okay, hey, Captain MD13 raiding with a party of 9. Welcome in. We're in a woods target. He forgot this earlier. Just a recovery heart. Alright, where are you going, Engel? No.
He's already done GC pot. He can't do. Oh, this is good. This is good. He's gonna try to play Sorry Song for Duruni, I think. Oh no, not gonna do it. Because that would have been another go. Oh my god, I forgot Saria's song. Let me go warp there and just find my hook instead.
But no, I'm not actually sure where he is going, but it's not that.
He's already done Trail Storms. Does he think he misspeaked this earlier?
He might have, yeah. But yeah, welcome into our Raiders. Well, Engel is... Volc is in go mode. Engel has forgotten the check. Is our situation. We do interview the runners after. If they, of course, with their permission. I
have a feeling like Engel will not.
Yeah, Volc's French, so I'm not sure if he'll want to interview in English. I know it's not the greatest, so I can translate. If you'd like. But yeah, Engel may not interview after this. It's not unusual for runners who end up. Yeah, it's not unusual for runners in Engel's position to not interview because it really stinks when you. It really just stinks when you've got this kind of situation where you've just last location something.
I heard the up note, and I was like, yes, he's doing it, and he's not.
No.
What's left? I don't know what is left.
I don't either.
Maybe he thinks he misread TCG. So this is the. Oh,
He's double checking his foolishes.
Fortress. Yeah, feels bad. This is also a problem when you play a lot of Zooter. You get a lot of seat bleed, unfortunately. And that may be what happened here. He's like, oh yeah, I totally checked this. And just remembering he checked it some other time. Misremembering hints because of how much you play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Engel is currently looking at what I missed. What did I miss? Actually, I said this was going to be a 1 sub 145. It might take longer because Volc is supposed to get lights, and Boss keeps being a pain. Go beat fire since you can, or at least find out it's peer locked.
Yeah. Ooh, that's fun. Where was our other wallet at?
First one wallet's on Frogs 1.
Yeah, because Central Pillar Boss Key.
The other one's probably in Garen's.
Yeah. Not that we care. Just fun logical requirements is it expects you to have a Zora tunic there.
Yep.
And that is glow mode. Well, official glow mode.
Again, castle time for Volc. Gonna climb the tower. Gonna take 3 or 4 minutes here. Get the hint. Go back to Spirit Temple. Get the light arrows from the sunblock chest, and then come back. So yeah, it'll be a little over an hour 45. Water and fire boss keys were not super early. I think I forgot Fire Temple existed when doing the math on how much time was left. Oops. Fairly quick seat overall still.
That is correct. Oh, oh, that's a big chest. I was like, so that's where they put it. No, third bow.
Yep.
And Volc wasn't opening that for the fans. He still doesn't have light arrows. He thought those could have been lights.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew. And this will be boss key for Engel. Engel gonna go for fast Volc here.
Yep. And here is the light hint for Volc.
Mhm. Nice one cycle there.
Luke's going to go back to Adult Climb here. I think this is Invisibles into the Colossus hands, since they're fairly quick. Then Sunblock will probably be last, but,
Mhm.
and yeah, that really isn't gonna matter at this point.
No. And from Volc's perspective, this makes the most sense. Just to keep climbing instead of checking that one annoying check on Child's side.
There's also a little bit of magic, too.
Oh, that is true. That also makes it also a non advantageous check.
Yep.
Okay.
Engel is going back Child on the other side. Having a think.
This is the correct screen to be looking at. No, no. Back to the other one. See missing songs.
Yeah, nothing on here for Volc. Gonna go back in.
Maybe he thinks he forgot something in the well.
Possible. I mean, he's just basically this is what happens when a runner does something like what Engel's done. I can't say I've ever specifically seen someone do this exact brain part, but it does happen from time to time where a runner forgets a check for any number of reasons. Could be miscounting keys, could be, you know,
Just marked it off on his tracker without actually checking it.
yep, I've seen someone lose a race because they peaked a strength upgrade on the crater wall, marked it on their tracker, wrote it down as being way of the hero on their hints, and then just forgot to actually pick up the strength upgrade. That was an oops. And oh yes, we do have chest appearance matches contents on both size and texture, which is why runners are skipping small brown chests, just because they know it's junk.
The only beneficial thing that can be in one of those is like a nut upgrade or a stick upgrade, but you're not going to pop them open to find those.
No, the runners of this caliber don't need it.
I don't know what he has left in either other than checking SFM.
Yeah, no, this is just just when you're in this kind of situation, as here's go mode for Volc, you just run over every check in your head, think about what thing did I mispeak? You know, what could I have mistracked?
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is it's not a check. Well, it is a check, but it's a song. You're never going to go back to a song spot.
Because it's really hard to miss song checks because there's so few of them.
Exactly, and it's not like it's going to give you like there's not like a here's the chest that the song was in.
Nope. And yeah, the child save quit being Lost Woods just hurts Engel there, because otherwise he would have played Minion about 3 or 4 times as child by now.
Yes.
And it is actually unmissable. That song check is both SFM song checks are unmissable if you play at Minion as their right age.
Yes.
You warp there and you get the song immediately. It is impossible to not get. It's just that he just never did so.
So, VXR, first hook shot is on Saria's song because that was the item shuffle, and the other one's on Bongo Heart Container.
Yep.
Which he knows that the other hook has to be basically at this point on the back half of Shadow because it's hinted as Path to Morph.
Well, he knows either Irons or Longshot, or in this case, both have to be back there. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't help him find the first.
Nope. Oop, Vulcan a little trolled there by Ganon.
Yep.
More fun minutes.
And Dorf is down for Volc.
I guess Engel didn't check this the first time he was in here.
Or maybe he didn't, just saw it and just wasn't sure.
I thought the portcullis stays off.
Oh, might actually. So yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like he climbed that way up here last time.
I should say the bars.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's not portcullis. Water temple things are portcullises. Oof, feels bad.
Yeah, it happens with this kind of just brain farted to check race. It just always feels bad when it happens. It can be any number of things. It can be misidentifying a freestanding, mispeaking a chest appearance, just straight up, I didn't have strength 2 or hammer when I was in Goron City and forgot that the left side chest existed and never went back, has happened before.
Goron pottery, getting things and other logics.
Yeah,
For
there's
fire
any
logic.
number of stuff. But yeah, that is how it goes, though. And that we are going to have GG's here too, Volc. We're going to be finishing up, taking the win, and moving on to brackets round 2 with an official race time. That's GG time here of a 1:49:33. GG's. And understandably, Engel has decided I quit.
Mhm.
This was on a 15-minute delay, so this race has been done for about 15 minutes in real time. Yeah, neither runner will be joining us for an interview, understandably. Again, Volc is from France, and Engel is just not feeling in the mood for it, understandably. But yeah, Engel thought he did it. He was going to menu and he did child early there, and then the safe quit sidetracked him.
Yep.
That's basically more or less was the conversation in the race time was what? Yeah, just
What
sorry,
did I
a sign
miss?
check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would have basically been. I think he said that. I think it basically would have been just about near go mode for him because he would have gone to Shadow, found long shot and irons, and then just clear dungeons until you're done, basically.
Yep. Yeah, and at the point where he basically mind-holed it was Volc starting Shadow. So, I mean, had he gotten it, I mean, this would have been a very, very close race, basically down to execution because the game basically gave you everything.
Pretty much. Unfortunately, just save quit, found himself at the Lost with the Goron City entrance, and just never played vignettes. Eventually, he kind of thought, oh, there's just an item missing. It's probably junk too, which did not help with the decision making, unfortunately. And yeah, that's rando for you.
Yeah. Had he gotten the anywhere other than forest being, I don't even think anywhere other than forest. Anywhere other than it just being Lost Woods, specifically where it was at, I think it would have been a very different race.
Oh yeah, because he would have played Minuet as child otherwise at some point or another. And as mentioned earlier, it is physically impossible to miss that hookshot otherwise if you play Minuet.
So, unfortunate, Minobot, Midode, and
happens to the best of us.
Right.
I think that is about a wrap. Volc will be moving on to face Exodus in round 2. That'll be a really good matchup. And then we do have more races coming up later today here. We have... Let's see. So first off, please give both of our runners a follow. This is a really great race. Despite everything, Engel is an excellent runner. Volc is an excellent runner. I would highly suggest checking them both out, as well as thank you to New IT Guy for joining me on comms, and to Virgil and Beva on the tracking here today. Coming up ahead on the schedule. Now, we have another race at 2 p.m. Eastern. It won't be restreamed, but we will have Sponge versus Asuna. And then tonight we have a late night match at 11 p.m. Eastern between Mr. Martin and Flea. Missing a tracker for that. Might see if we can get that restreamed. And then we've got we've got a match and then tomorrow between Silma V and Jimbo. We'll see if we can get that on a Speedgaming channel, and then we'll have the last round 1 match is going to be this Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern between What the Hell's Happened to Master Alex, and then we'll have round 2 matches coming up this coming week as well. But for now, that is going to be it here for us. There's plenty of other things happening on the Speedgaming channels. I believe we've got ourselves starting up in about an hour. We'll have a Super Metroid Randomizer Mystery Tournament match between Farfelu and Kip. And then there's more Super Metroid random mystery coming up throughout the day, it looks like, plus plenty of stuff on the other channels if you want to check that out. That'll be it here for us, at least. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good afternoon.